Hey everybody, Jerkfet here, and happy holidays. Yeah, as you can see, I am in a holiday mood, excited. Tomorrow, I am filming this is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas, so bunches of cheer, good eating, good food, good presents, and all that jazz. So, yeah, and in case you noticed, I know, crazy, my hair's short now. Now just trying to change it up a bit. Anyway, back on topic. So bringing you guys a special holiday video. I got this. This is about the big Millennium Falcon, as I absolutely failed trying to get in screen. There we go. There it is. The big Millennium Falcon. I got that a few weeks ago, like a couple weeks ago now. I did not have time to do a video on it as much as I really wanted to. One, because I was sick, and two, because school finals. But now we're off for the holidays and decided to give you guys a special look at it. I guess this is a kind of review. I know I don't really do reviews for the simple fact that there's so many people out there who do it better than I do. But some items just warrant a special look at it. So, yeah, let's get on to the big Millennium Falcon, shall we? And here we are with the big Millennium Falcon. Now let me just say that this, right off the bat, that this is an amazing, absolutely fantastic Star Wars vehicle. Probably one of, if not my absolute favorite that I own. Yeah, I mean, you chances are, obviously, let me just start off by saying that for those of you that don't know, this Millennium Falcon originally came out 4 years ago in the Legacy Collection, and it has just recently been re-released in the Vintage Collection and Vintage packaging as a Toys R Us exclusive. Unfortunately, I missed my chance on getting this vehicle 4 years ago in the Legacy Collection, so I was really glad that they announced that it was going to be re-released. Unfortunately, it's a Toys R Us exclusive, and it's Toys R Us, so that means jacked up prices. Yeah, so that is really a big upset with this, that the price is so high now on it. It's $250 retail at Toys R Us. Toys R Us. I was about to say ToysRUs.com because that's where I got mine. I want to say it wasn't this past weekend, but the weekend before that. And the weekend before that, they had a cyber sales on this going on, where it's 50% off. That's when I got mine because it was actually a reasonable price. So then it was $125 less than what it originally retailed for. So I was happy paying that price. But $250, I would say wait, because Toys R Us has been feeling generous with putting this thing on discount. I'm guessing that they're not really selling a whole lot at that outrageous price point. So just wait out for a sale post-Christmas. I'm sure they're going to put it on sale or something. So anyway, enough with talking about price points. Let's get to the actual vehicle itself and give you guys a nice detailed look at it. First, let's start off here with the cockpit. In here we have a Chewbacca. This is the Chewbacca that came with the ship, which is a really nice Chewbacca. Probably the best Chewbacca body that's been made so far. Hasbro's been using this one for years now. And here, this is the vintage original trilogy Han Solo. Not the Han Solo that comes with it, because I do not really care for that Han Solo, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But anyway, here is the cockpit. Give you guys a nice look in there. This is kind of a big deal because this has been the first Millennium Falcon that actually has 4 seats in the cockpit, so you can actually fit 4 different figures in there like in the movie. So very nice. You can see you got 2 seats back there, and then 2 seats for the pilots. Got the little controls, and of course this thing comes with a not too bad of a sticker sheet. Some of these vehicles, they just got outrageous. Like they pretty much is a sticker book just for decals, but this wasn't too bad. You can see there's a few stickers you have to put up in there, and then you put some right there, and then on the inside. The cockpit is the highest concentration of stickers in the whole thing. But anyway, a very nice cockpit. Very glad I finally fit 4 figures, 4 characters in there like in the movie. And just start off that, of course, this being a Hasbro Star Wars vehicle, it comes with lights and sounds. So we can start off here. We got ignition. So very cool, like the failed startup from Empire Strikes Back. And then you press it again. And there we go, the Falcon's taking off. Here's some Chewbacca sounds, and if I go around real quick, you can see that the back has lightings and the engine, so very cool. The lights and sounds on this vehicle are exceptional, I must say. I'm really liking them. Sometimes, they can be a little cheesy or just a bit too much. An example of this is usually like with the clones or military vehicles, like where they have just like tons of just like commands like, oh, fold out, and then they have like a whole battle recorded just in the sound features. It's like, will this ever end? But this vehicle actually uses dialogue from the original trilogy, so none of those B-list voice actors doing recordings. So this is actually the voices from the movie. So that is I'm really pleased with. Again, you saw that 2 lights in the back of the cockpit light up, so very cool. Let's move on from the cockpit, get to the rest of the vehicle. It comes with 2 remove sections, big sections of the vehicle. You can see I've already removed them. Pretty much you just fit them over there and just take them out to see the inside. First, over here we have a little recreational area. As you can see, there's 2 little, I guess I would call them cubby holes, or really proper term would be smuggling compartments. Like in A New Hope, sneaking aboard the Death Star, we got the little compartments. And it might look small from this, like for a little comparison, here we have lightsaber construction Luke. And it looks pretty small when you do that. There's actually space inside, so you can fit your figures in there. So actually pretty large smuggling compartment. Just make sure you don't get anything stuck in there or you'll never be able to get it. So very cool that they have smuggling compartments. And another one over here, which you can see I actually have half of a Chewbacca in there because the waist joint on mine was loose. So you can see a little half Chewbacca. Oh, the horror. Anyway, so I have him in there, he's kind of like angry, like something's broken. He's yelling at Han to get a tool or something, whatever you want to imagine it is. So anyway, this little wreck area, as I like to call it, most notably from A New Hope, when we have Chewbacca and R2-D2 playing Dejarik. It comes with little pieces that you can put in here, little hollow chest pieces. I currently do not have them in there, but you can see, like here's one. It's like translucent plastic with like an orange tint to it, but it lights up pretty nicely when you use the lights and sounds. Let's see if I can get that to stay on there real quick. There you go, you can see it lights up. And again, more lights and sounds. There's tons of lights and sounds on this thing. So yeah, let's go through all these real quick.
It's not wise to upset a Wookiee.
I suggest a new strategy, R2. Let the Wookiee win.
So very cool sound effects. I really like that. So you can recreate the scene from A New Hope where R2-D2 is rather upsetting Chewbacca by winning at Dejarik. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Again, I'm not always the best at pronunciations. So anyway, you can see if C-3PO is not blocking it here, you have another chair like where Han sat in A New Hope. And over here, you have a feature where you can plug in the little Jedi training probe, and pretty much has a little turn thing over here, which turns the radar dish also, but it also would turn the Jedi probe. I do not have that in there for the simple fact that I do not have a kind of Tatooine Luke to put in that situation, or an old Ben, for a matter of fact. I know I'm not a true Star Wars collector if I don't have an old Ben. Anyway, I'm working to fix that. Okay, people, quit giving me grief. So anyway, that's a cool little feature, and that has a whole set of lights and sounds for it also. Well, actually just sounds.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
You see? You can do it.
Let's see, is there one more maybe?
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So anyway, that's it for like the Jedi training lights and sounds. So anyway, you can see here a nice little rec compartment, and this is the Han that came with the vehicle. I really honestly do not care for this Han one bit. Let's see if it wants to focus. Well, it's trying to focus on the Falcon in the background. Let's see. Anyway, you get a general idea. Just go through with what I don't like about this figure. First off, the head sculpt is just alright. It's nothing really special. Honestly, I think the vintage original trilogy Han's head sculpt is a lot better, and that came out several years before this Han, so I mean it's kind of a step back instead of a step forward. Also, it has kind of old articulation scheme. It has a cut elbow joint instead of a ball joint, so that's kind of or a pin and sockets, whatever you want to call. So that's a little lame in my book. And the leg articulation, no ankle articulation whatsoever, so it's just molded, so that kind of sucks. So anyway, I don't really care for this Han. Overall, I guess, and this headset's not removable. That's another thing that I don't really like. So really, this is just specifically for fitting in the little turret chamber back here, obviously from A New Hope. This also comes with sound effects. So if you want to recreate the escape from the Death Star, so that'd be pretty cool. So again, really the only purpose for this Han is to fit in that chair back there and have him blasting away at TIE fighters. So let me put Han back over here. And this is the other section of the ship that you have here. And you can see I've got a VOTC Lando and lightsaber construction Luke just chilling back here. There's a Stormtrooper blaster. Again, we already talked about the cargo hold. And here's another little cubby for storing whatever you want to, really. I have the hollow chest pieces in there right now. If I move these figures out of the way, let me just lay them down real quick. There's a little compartment that you can open up. And it's actually a decent size back there. You can see I have Chewie's lower part of his body there. I know, the horror. Anyway, let's set that aside real quick. So I know it's too dark, you can't really see anything in there. But, I mean, it's a decent size. Obviously not as big as any of this. But it's like a nice little room or cargo hold, whatever. Pretty much just for storing whatever you want to, really. Anyway, those doors close. I have a little problem on mine where I can't really close it all the way. I don't know if that's on every Falcon or just mine. It just seems like the doors are too big to, like, let's see if I have them closed right now, but then, like, they just want to lean back open. So that, not a big complaint or anything, just pointing out that it is there. Let's see. Over here, that's the little medical area that Luke lays on in The Empire Strikes Back after he's rescued from Cloud City. That's where he has his little arm, I don't know what you call it, little gauntlet on. Anyway, fairly recognizable from the movie. Let's get on to some other features. Going back over here, the side of the Falcon, this opens up. Has its own little set of sound effects that play automatically. And then we have a little escape pod or mini fighter that comes out. Well, I think that was supposed to make a sound effect or something. Let's see. Oh. Well, let's try not. So, there we go. So, let's see. And then, there we go. Now it plays. Anyway, so it makes a little sound effect like it's launching or anything. But, pretty nifty little fighter, I suppose. As far as I'm aware, this is not exactly in canon. I don't believe that the Falcon ever had like a little mini fighter. Even though they do mention in A New Hope like after the Empire captures the Falcon at the Death Star, and like an Imperial officer mentions to Vader that all the escape pods have been jettisoned right after launch. So it's something that had just been mentioned but never really further elaborated on. Again, I don't really remember any time in the EU them referencing escape pods on the Millennium Falcon, but I don't know, it could exist, I guess. But it's pretty nice. I like how they incorporate design elements from the Millennium Falcon itself into this little escape pod, like this little break here at the nose, similar to the Falcon herself. And it can fit one figure in there, really basic kind of little design. It kind of reminds me of like the Jedi Starfighters, and just fit one figure right in there, just kind of lean it right in there. So not a bad little feature, I suppose, but I agree with many reviewers that it's kind of like the weakest link in this entire vehicle. But it does have these little blasters on the sides and a little firing missile on the bottom. So I guess you can have it like flying around the Falcon, I suppose. Anyway, let's put that back in there. Let's see if I can get... There we go. A little sound effect plays whenever you open and close. There we go. So, very cool. And as I accidentally bumped into this earlier, this is a little... you can make the cannon on the top swivel, and if you pull it back all the way, it has two launching missiles. It's actually kind of nice design. So when you pull this back all the way, this is the little button that you press to launch the missile. It hits on this little side thing and it goes flying. However, I am in, as if you haven't figured out already, I am in a different room, and it is a rather large room, and I would prefer not to get that missile lost somewhere underneath a couch or something. So, but it does trigger the sound effects too. So, pretty cool. Let's see, what else have I missed? Let's see, going real quick, here's the opening. So, pretty cool, has sound effects and lights. Pretty cool, and just click it back into place. The little gun turret on the bottom from The Empire Strikes Back. Obviously, they used to blast some snow troopers while escaping Echo Base. And again, there's another little gun on the bottom, and the landing gear. The landing gear I haven't really had a problem with, except for on this one right here. It just does not click into place. I just keep it under there for display purposes. But I guess it's not too terribly bad, since I am not going to be playing with this. I'm just going to be having this displayed. But the landing gear, I haven't really encountered any issues with it where like they fall off on their own, except for with the exception of that one. But that doesn't really do anything to compromise this vehicle's standing. So anyway, also I guess this isn't really a feature or anything, but you can take this little piece off. Let's see if I can get it to come off. Well, I can't really do this with one hand easy. But anyway, this section comes off, and that's just where you put in the batteries. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed that little look at the Falcon itself. Before we go, we'll take a little quick look at the packaging it comes in, since not a lot of YouTube videos actually show off this new vintage packaging. So I'll give you guys a quick look at that right now. And finally, here we are with the vintage collection. Obviously vintage Kenner style packaging for the big Millennium Falcon. Just to give you guys a quick look here. I know you've all probably seen it on pictures online, but while we have it, why not just show it off? So there we got the Star Wars logo. Of course, Toys R Us can't resist putting their exclusive sticker on it. Pulling back here, we have the Millennium Falcon displayed with a bunch of stormtroopers. Let's see, it's about 7 different stormtroopers or so. So yeah, that's a lot of stormtroopers. Man, I wish I had all those guys. That'd be nice if it included all those. Anyway, moving on. There's the little Han Solo that I do not care for in the pilot's chair. There we have a New Hope style Tatooine farm boy Luke. Which one specifically I do not know. There's Chewbacca that is included with it, and Vintage Collection C-3PO, and from what I can tell, Vintage Collection R2-D2. So, yeah, pretty cool design, and of course, let's not forget to mention this crazy-eyed looking kid. He looks a bit too happy to have a Millennium Falcon, but, you know, to be honest, I mean, I was pretty ecstatic when I got this guy also. So anyway, that's the front of the box. Moving around real quick, which I think this is a little bit disappointing, a tad bit disappointing. This just pretty much black and white illustrations on the rest of the packaging. I mean, they could have at least used like a real photographs. But I do not know. Maybe some of you guys can answer this question as to, did the original vintage Millennium Falcon have these black and white drawings on the box? Because that would make sense if they're trying to mimic the vintage style to have these same black and white drawings. And pretty much just a cartoon version of the image on the front. And that is pretty much it for the Vintage Collection Millennium Falcon box. And that's my review of the box. So anyway, final thoughts on the Falcon. Let me move over here, give you guys a final look at this. This is an absolutely amazing piece, and I think that is definitely will be a hallmark item of any Star Wars action figure or toy collection. I know that I'm definitely pleased with this purchase. I'm definitely worth $125, which is what I got it at. $250, I say skip it. I mean, it's a great vehicle and all, but that's just a stupid price for it. I mean, that's $250,000. Think of what that money could go towards. And just thinking that this originally retailed at $150, you know, just kind of makes me angry. Seeing how Toys R Us is jacking up the prices and whatnot. So yeah, I would say if you've not gotten it yet, to wait for another Toys R Us sale, whether it's in-store sale or online sale. I'd say just wait, and preferably if you're going to buy this from ToysRUs.com, try and see if they have like a free shipping available. At the time that I got this, they had a special offer going on. It was like free shipping for any orders above $50, and obviously it's $125. I think now it's like they've updated it to like free shipping above any or for any orders above $160, or not $160. My goodness, just any orders above $60. Yeah, I was about to go a little crazy there. Any orders above $160 now. But yeah, because if you don't get free shipping on this, then shipping to my house at least was like $45. So crazy price for shipping. So yeah, that's a final look at the Vintage Collection Millennium Falcon. Absolutely amazing vehicle. Highly recommend it. At least for $125. The most I'd pay on this would probably again, my speech getting blah blah blah. The most I would pay for this vehicle would probably be maybe around $170, somewhere around there. That's at the very most. Honestly, I wouldn't feel comfortable with more than $150 what it originally went for, because any price above that's just getting a little bit crazy. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this special look at the Vintage Collection Millennium Falcon. Again, great piece, highly recommend it. And I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and for those of you guys that don't celebrate Christmas, then just Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and all that jazz. This has been Jokerfett, signing out. Bye.